Well, bye Amanda's. I've really enjoyed it in there. They've been really good. I've got my food, I've had a lot to drink, and they let me sit in there and charge all my stuff up, bless them. So yeah, well done Amanda's, thank you. There's my pitch for the night. Lovely spot. It's been used before a few times up the old fire ring. And there's lovely, cool, clear, fresh water down there. Now I follow that creek for a good bit, so that's a really good sign. So I can really stock up in the morning and before that heat gets too bad, fill my belly. There's a nice early morning shot of the creek. This is my next water stop with a rickety bridge. This is the same creek that I've been drinking out of for a bit now. But unfortunately this will be my last stop here because I'm moving away from it. Damn shame. Easy going this morning. It's been lovely so far. My hands are still cold, which I don't mind one bit. Well, that's a strange shaped rock. All on its own. Some more of those weird shaped rocks. They're fairly unique. You absolute beauty. Look how clear that is. I was a bit worried because this is only a 2 on the water report. And if this was dry and the next number and the next second level was dry, I've got issues. And I was walking across this big open bit here look, and I couldn't see anyone. I'm thinking, oh my god, it's all dry. And then I got here, right, brilliant. I've just had my biscuit, little break. I'm gonna have about a quarter of an hour break here. I don't usually, but I need to. Yeah, today's been fine so far, like I've already mentioned. I'm nipping back down there in a minute just to fill my water bottle up because there's another source about 3 miles ahead, and then there's another one at about mile 20. I'm at around 12.5 at the minute, so another 7 miles. That's supposed to be a good one, so I can really top up there. Like I say, I'm at around mile 12.5, but that's from the start of the section. This is section 2. I did about 2.5 last night, so I'm about 10 miles in myself this morning. It's around 11 o'clock. Just to give you a heads up, I'm heading for Ghost Ranch. I think I mentioned that earlier. A Ghost Ranch is just it's a ranch and it caters. It's like an artist's retreat. A lot of artists go there, but apparently it's really nice. It looks nice. I've seen videos of it. It looks nice. But I've had to send a resupply because there's no store. There's a tiny store that sells a few snacks. That's it. Well, this is not good. This is supposed to be the best water source I'm likely to get for a good while. And look at it, I've had to walk the actual, there's a bridge over this little creek over there is where you get your water from. It's bone dry. I'm like, oh no. So I've walked up here a good quarter mile and I'm going to be okay. Here, as you can see, there's a couple of pools, so I'm going to take everything I can from here filter everything and fill every damn bottle up that I've got. The next water source that I'm looking at is 8 Mile, and that's not supposed to be as good as this, so if that's empty I've got real problems, because I'm literally at mile 20 on this stretch. Like I say, I'm at mile 20 on this stretch, and it's a 77-mile stretch, 75 mile. So I've got another 55 mile to go, and there's no getting off trail. I've got to keep going. But this is not good. Like I say, I'm going to get as much water from here as I can and just ration it. And hopefully that one in 8 Mile, I don't think I'll make that today because it's a right climb. I've got a right climb from here. I've got a 1500 foot climb over about 10 mile, and the sun's beating down. And it's on a road, it's on like a dirt road, so there's not a lot of shade. But anyway, I'll show you that later. Alright, I've made a decision. I don't know if it's a good one. Excuse the net, I've been covered in flies trying to get this water. I've had to siphon it. I've had to pour it, well, it doesn't matter. I've got 5 litres. The next water is 8 Mile, and it's all uphill. And I mean uphill, really steep. But it's not looking good, if I'm honest. This is a better water source than the one I'm going to, and this, well, you've seen what I've had to do here. I don't know whether you can make that out, but unless I'm hallucinating, it looks like a little pond. It's not on my map, but I'm going to go get some. I can barely talk, my mouth's that dry. Well, I've just filled up from there. It tastes, actually it doesn't taste too bad. It stinks horrible getting in there because it looks like a cow pond and the mud stinks. But I think that literally, if the next 2 are dry, that just might get me to Ghost Ranch. I'll tell you later on when it gets a bit cooler. That pile of stones there represents the start of the Penas Negras Trail, which is at mile 27.1 for this second section. So which means I've got what, 24.5 mile in what a day. And this is where I'm going to pitch, right there. 27 mile, and it were nearly all uphill. Absolutely all uphill. And thank God I found that bit of water. I'm about a mile off the next water source, but apparently there's a load of deadfalls and I am absolutely dead beat. So I'm going to hit that in the morning real early. I'll be setting my alarm and getting up real early. But I'm carrying nearly 7 litres of water, and I reckon if I have, I don't know, if I leave here tomorrow with 5, I should be able to get to Ghost Ranch, which is going to be 33 mile, because there's another 2 mile of this, a bit uphill, and then it's nearly all downhill to that guaranteed water. There's a good chance I'm going to get water between here and there, but that's guaranteed. That's a proper river, bridge over it, everything. It'll taste like shit, well, it's water. Right, I'm going to put my tent up. There's my pitch already. Do you remember that last clip when I said I'd pretty much climbed all day long? Just check this out. Have a quick look at this screenshot, look. That there is where I started. That is where I am now. And as you can see, I've only got 2 miles to go and I'm at the top, and it's all downhill. And then that is where the river is, about 32 mile away. A lot easier day tomorrow than what today's been. Good morning. Hey, that was chilly. But I'm at 9,700 foot. Right, I'm not far off of joining my second wilderness area. I forget the name, something Parks. Forget the name off the top of my head. I've got 5.5 litre of water, and I need to get 35 mile. That's to the guaranteed water source. There are 3 or 4, I think 3 or 4 between here and there. And I only need one of them to have water and I'm okay. But at some stage today, I'm going to be joining up with the CDT. For those that don't know, CDT, if you take a quick look at this screenshot, it's one of the triple crowns of American hiking, the other two being the CT, no it's not the CT, the PCT, Pacific Crest Trail, and the AT, the Appalachian Trail, called the Triple Crown. The CDT runs from Mexico to Canada, 3,100 mile long, as you can see on this. And then if you look at the little blue thing, I'll pop in nearer, close up for you. That is where I am. That is the northern New Mexico loop hike. So I'll shortly be joining up with the red line for about 130 miles. Right, it's my view this morning. I've got about, you saw that map yesterday, that elevation profile. I've got to get up to about 10,000 feet, just over. Which is about 5 miles away. And it's mostly down, well it's nearly all downhill to the river anyway. But apparently there's a ton of blowdowns. So let's see what we've got. This is what I'm up against. I've been going an hour, I don't think I've got half a mile. I'm worn out already. We'll fight away with all this stuff. It's a ball ache. Right, that's not good. I was expecting it though. No water there, it's absolutely bone dry. Like I say, it was a seasonal flow, so I'm well beyond season. There's another source in a couple of miles. It's a meadow with water in it. And I've just seen quite a few elk running around, so there must be water somewhere. Maybe I should ask one of them. Well, that's water source number 2, bone dry. Not as dry as my mouth like, but what do you do? Well, those meadows were all dry. I'm inside the well, I've been inside the wilderness area for a while. That's probably why the blowdowns were so bad. You get blowdowns in a wilderness area, they just get left. That's why it's called a wilderness area. Right, I'm about 3 miles from the CDT, from joining the CDT. Well, there is another chance of someone, I'll keep going on about water, but it's everything at the minute. Half mile off trail there's a creek, so I've got to check that out, because the one after that, it's about 14 mile. I need some water. Guys, since that last clip, I swear to God, I have literally not walked 20 foot. Check this out. Oh, I'm going to sit and drink at least 2 litres and then top back up. That has saved my skin. And it's not even on any map, I've got that. Brilliant. I'll shut up about water now. This looks like a recent burn. They're not fun walking through these. I mean, I know it's nature, but you get suttered up to buggery and there's no trail. You're forever stopping to check your position because the trail's been burnt away and washed out. Doesn't look a big area though. We meet again at last. Continental Divide Trail. I'm at mile 33 for this section. I got to 27 letters, so I've gone, what, a bit, 20. I've done about 6 miles in 4.5 hours. That's how tough it's been. With all the blowdowns and the trail that was no trail, you had to find your own way, and they were blowdowns. Hopefully now it'll pick up a bit, I can go. But I've got another 2 mile climbing, get me to mile 35. That's for this section. When I say mileage, not the full trail. And then I've got a good 5 mile all downhill, so I'm looking forward to that. I've got a trail. So that's me leaving the San Pedro Parks Wilderness. I couldn't remember the name of it earlier. I knew it was something Parks, but there we go. Okay, there's the San Pedro Parks Wilderness, and that obviously dotted lines the CDT that I've just joined up with. I didn't come in there from the bottom. I followed this trail here. Hang on, let me just focus that. I came in from here up this Penas Negras trail. So I came all the way up there and then joined it there, and then I've gone all the way up here and I'm now there. Yeah, that Penas Negras trail, well, I can't really call it a trail. A lot of it's washed out, a lot of it was blowdowns. It was tough, but that's what it is. It's a wilderness. My first view for a long while. Well, I've got some more water. I'm back up to about 7.5 litres. The 7.5 litres, I didn't film it down there because there was somebody else getting some as well, so. But man, it is hot. I've just drank 1.5 litres. I haven't walked 100 metres and there's no, my mouth's bone dry. And I've just sat and drank 1.5 litres. This is how close and dry and hot it is. Right, see how far I get tonight. I'll be hiking up in a bit. And that's where I've got to go. I haven't made my mind up whether I'm going to do it tonight. I'd like to, because there's still 2 hours of daylight, but whether I can get up there in 2 hours or what, I do not know. Well, I'm about halfway up. I've decided to give it a go because of the cloud cover. And it really helps me out from starting up there tomorrow morning. Whew, it's a tie. Yeah. I'm tired. And that's where I've come from. I've come up and over that today. That's not the highest point. If you go another 3 or 4 miles further on, it gets even higher. It's been a right climb. Worked my way down and through all this forest. Yeah, I think that low point of the saddle there is where I'm headed. This is the... I'm going to go swing right now and work my way up, round, and top out there and go to damn sleep. Good morning. That was my camp spot. I don't know whether I showed you last night, I can't remember. Anyway, that's the trail. Look, I've literally camped right outside of the trail for a change. I'm about 2 miles from a water source. It seems a pretty good one, but if I'm honest, I've got quite a bit of water. I'm not desperate for water at the minute. I'm doing pretty well. I've got over 3 litres, 4 litres. And the river that I was on about earlier is only 10 miles away. I have got a tough climb in between there, and today's supposed to be showered, and there's clouds up there already and they're racing through. Usually the sunshine, it's just a damn clear sky, but there are clouds up there and it got cloudy yesterday evening, really cloudy, which was really useful. Right, I've got around 27 miles to go to get to Ghost Ranch where I'm staying. I could push on maybe and get that done today, but I've no intention of doing that. I'm looking to get about 20 because I'm looking to stay there the night, and I might get a lodge. So I like to get into these little places really early so I can do all my chores, get showered and everything else. Pick my resupply box up before I actually check in, and then when I can check in around 3 o'clock, I've got lots of time to sort all my electrics out and everything else. So that's what I'm looking at doing. Catch you in a bit. Well, look at that. Straight out of a spring. I think I'm going to replace most of my water here because it'll be lovely and cold with that. But look at this. This is Fuertes Spring. Look at that. I don't know whether you can see, but that's coming out of the bottom of the tree. And if you can make that out, there's a cross. Somebody's put a cross on it, look. Talk about the tree, the giver of life. Water coming out the bottom of a tree. There's nothing behind it, bone dry. Well, my first climb of the day. I feel fairly good. Sun's behind the clouds, there's a nice breeze. But I can see where I came from yesterday. I actually came up there, and then I made my way through all those trees to the bottom where I camped last night, and then obviously got the water and climbed up this morning. I'm now heading into the Charmer River Canyon Wilderness, as you can see, and I'm not too far from the river. Let me just show you. That's where I am, and I'm following this trail, and that's the river. And I've just found out, I'll talk to you in a bit, there is a shortcut, look, along there to that. That's nearly at Ghost Ranch, which cuts that great big climb out. My first thunderstorm of this trip. I've not seen any lightning yet, but 3 raps of thunder the last 10 minutes or so. And it's heading roughly to my right, which is where I'm heading. I've got to go down here and then turn right. There's a trail, look. I've got to get to the bottom of this canyon valley and then turn right and follow that to the river. And that looks like it's going to be following me. Holy shit! I've just crossed that about a dozen times and I heard a roaring, and I looked round and I thought, get the effing hell out of here, yeah. See you later, alligator. I'm climbing up there. Holy mother of frickin'. I've got to get across there. Well, that's my first flash flood. Man. That's why they tell you not to camp in dry creeks. I don't know how I'm going to get out of here, because that's going to fill up down there, look, and that's my route, so I've got to go right across there. Right, I need to get higher. Okay, not to put too fine a point on it, I'm in the shit, I think. I've got to get across there. No time soon, eh? And that's nothing. When I get across there, I've got to recross it further down. I've just had a quick look on my map, and I cross it about 20 times in 4 miles. And I don't know if you heard that, that's another thunderstorm on its way. Well, I ain't crossing that. Not a hope in hell am I going to cross that. I might try, do you know what, I might try it up there. I might try it just up there, but if I can't get across, what do? Do I sit it out? I am looking at climbing up there and trying to get across the top, but the muddy, it's so muddy and slippy. I'm caked in mud because I fell over that many times. Right, I'm going to see if I can. I'm going to have a look down there, stick my rod in, my trekking pole, and if it don't seem too deep, I might give it a go. Okay, I've just climbed up to the top on the side there. I couldn't get across, and I'm heading back down. There's all these big wide drainages, so I don't know whether I'm going to have to just climb in to the bottom and then climb up the other side, but then there may be somewhere where I can't climb down, it'd be too steep. But I don't see what options I've got. I've got to climb down here. I can see I don't know if you can pick the water up, it's still raging through, but there's a big flat spot there, so I'll work my way around to the right and see where that gets me. Yeah, still not getting over that, but I've just sat and had 5 minutes because I've just picked a trail up. I came up and over that big lump, and I came down and I picked this. I thought it was a bloody trail. So I looked on my map. This is the CDT trail. So I've studied it really closely, and I don't think that this trail now crosses that river again. I think they move apart. If it has, well, I'm a happy chappy. Let's see how it goes. Man, folks. See what I was saying, I'm having trouble getting over it up, and look at this. This is on flat, and I've just gone over, getting up and over that bloody divide, that drainage rather. So take me time. I've about 2 miles to get to the River Charmer, and I'll bet that's raging, because all these little, like I say, that little creek there that we're raging through that you've seen, that was about 1 inch deep till it started raining. Now look at it. And I've got to climb that, look in the distance behind that tree. That's what I've got to get up. Well, that's me leaving the Charmer River Canyon Wilderness. You tried to kill me, you twat. This is the River Charmer, where I was fighting to get to, if you remember, 2 days ago for my water, because this was guaranteed. I don't think I'd be taking water out of there. My filter would be clogged up with the first effort. Right, where am I going? I don't know yet. I'm going to sit down and work it out. There's thunderclouds all around me. Yeah, this is the trail. Oh, look at it, it's an absolute mud bath. I've just tried walking through it. Ugh. No, I'm taking the road. The road doesn't look much bloody better though. Look how... Hopefully further up there it won't be so bad. God knows. Look at that rain. That rain is coming down. That's the valley that I came down. Literally, I walked the length of that. And it's getting another walloping of rain. So that little creek will be raging. Well, there's my campsite for tonight. It's literally just stopped raining, which is why I've got all my flaps up. In fact, you can just hear thunder in the background. Well, that's where I'm heading tomorrow. If you see that gnarly, well not gnarly, that strange looking rock, there look. Ghost Ranch is at the bottom of there. I'm only 3.5, 4 miles away. I could have got there tonight if I really wanted to, but then I would have paid 40 quid for doing exactly what I'm doing here. So, yeah, I'll get there in the morning. See you tomorrow. Well, good morning. Last night was uneventful. Rained a little bit, but nothing like it did during the day. Here's my view this morning. I think we're in for another rainy, stormy day because the clouds behind me, it's really black, really dark. But I'm heading down there, maybe a couple of hours, to Ghost Ranch, where I'm going to pick my resupplies up and hopefully spend the night. Get a shower and sort all my kit out. I forgot to mention yesterday, because I was getting a bit tied up trying to escape a flash flood. I met a lad a couple of times on the trail. Really interesting kid. He's doing the CDT, he's section hiking it. He's doing it on a unicycle. You think I'm kidding? Check this picture out. And that thing on his helmet, his name is, oh, he's got a YouTube channel, by the way. I'll leave a description in the link. No, I won't. I'll leave a link in the description. His channel's called Unicorn Unicycle. And I can't wait to check him out. He's doing it on a unicycle. I mean, it's hard enough walking. And of course, that really steep bit that I came down, he went up that. I mean, he didn't cycle up it, it was just too rough, but he has to carry it. So the rough bits, where it gets rough for me, I don't have to carry a unicycle. And he says to me, I've got a van. Oh, by the way, he does, like I say, he does it in stages. He's got a big van where he sleeps and has a shower. And then he's got a little scooter. So he drives up trail to a trailhead, leaves the scooter, drives back, sleeps, gets up in the morning and unicycles to his scooter, picks his scooter up, drives back to the van, stays the night, rinse and repeat. What an interesting lad. And he offered me, he says, oh, when you get to my van, there's a cooler box under the car with all cold drinks in it. I thought, oh, great stuff, he's just help yourself. So when I got to his van, I'll stop it because it's really steep, this bit. It was surrounded in mud. It was parked at the side of the Charmer River. And obviously with the big rainstorm, it washed a load of mud down. There were about 3 inches of mud all around his van. I thought, no, I'll leave that. Right, not too far to go. Oops. Bouncy, bouncy ball. Well, we've got water if I need it. Not very nice looking, but I've just got a signal back there. I thought, right, I'll book a room now. Then they can't turn me away for looking scruffy. No vacancies. I'm like, oh no. Ghost Ranch Trail. So hopefully they'll let me camp. If I can't camp, I'm hitching to Charmer. Simple as that. Looks like them clouds are coming in over there. Same as they did yesterday. I'm just drying my stuff out because it was wet last night and got a bit of condensation. Washed my clothes, just drying them off, look. And this is where I'm staying. Number 14's mine. I'll show you inside because it's a bit special. I've got 5 beds to myself. Yep. So I'm just sorting. Oh, that's a good look. Show you there. My resupply box. Look, he's here. And I'm just working on my videos. I've got one uploaded, but it's I uploaded it in 4K and it won't process. Not that I'm really forced. I wasn't going to do anything here anyway because it's in the middle of nowhere. I was going to do them at my next town, Charmer. Anyway, that's my accommodation. I'll show you a little bit of Ghost Ranch tomorrow when I leave. Enjoying it so far though. Really enjoyed it. Well, here I am, sat washing my clothes. And I've got to tell you, I think this is one of the best views I've ever had for washing my clothes. Not bad, eh?